Hello everyone, today in this video I want to talk about basic pay in the military or basic pay in the Marines. Now all military branches fall under the same pay charts under the Department of Defense. So I just want to talk about what would an individual expect to make in a monthly basis when they go into the military. Today I'm gonna talk about the Marines, although it does affect all the branches, but I'm just gonna refer to ranks in the Marines and promotions in the Marines. So without further ado, let's look at this. Now I remember back in 1997 I was on my first duty station. I was getting about $800 per month, about 450 or 400 and some dollars per pay period. Now I was also getting cost of living allowance, which you get when you go overseas. So let's see how much has changed since 1997 pretty much. Now I will go into this link, which is special pay allowances tables under DFAS.mil, and here's where you find pretty much all the pay information about the military. You can also find information about the civilians and the government, but today I'm going to talk about the military, obviously about the basic pay. So let's see here. Here's the PDF where I'm going to find the information. I already have it open. And here you will find all the ranks, pretty much starting at E1 to E9 on the enlisted, W1 to W5 under warrant officers, and O1 under all the way to O10 under officers. So if you go to boot camp and you haven't, well, just to make it clear, sometimes you can go to boot camp and start as an E2, just because, for example, if you have somebody who enlists under you, pretty much, if you persuade somebody to enlist, they might give you points. Or if you have a degree or you're in college, you might get points, and you might get preference to go into the military as an E2, studying as an E2. But let's say that you go into the military as an E1, you're gonna start making $16.02 and 30 cents per month. Now that money is gonna be the first 4 months, pretty much. That's what you're gonna be making. Once you have over 4 months, you're gonna make $17.33 and 10 cents. Okay. Now, as you can see, that figure, that amount goes all the way through. If you look on the top, that says years of service, all the way to 40 years of service. Obviously, as an E2, you're not gonna be kept in the military if you do not get promoted. So you have to get promoted, obviously, at least in the Marines. Now, when you go to E2, obviously that goes up. You start making $19.42 and 50 cents. Now, in order to get promoted in the Marines from E1 to E2, all you gotta do is just stay out of trouble and do what you're supposed to do, and you're gonna get promoted. Now, that amount also doesn't change all the way through. Why? Because you're gonna get promoted to E3 fairly quickly as well. So from E2 to E3, all you gotta do is again meet the time in grade, time in service, and also stay out of trouble and do what you're supposed to do. So as an E3, you're gonna start making $20.42 and 70 cents. Now, as you get promoted, the more times you get promoted, the more you're gonna spend, the more time you're gonna spend on that rank as well. So as an E3, if you get to the second year, the pay is gonna go up to $21.71 and 10 cents, and then if you're on your third year, if you're still on E3, it's gonna go up to $23.02. Okay. Now, if you get promoted to E4, it goes up to $22.62 and 60 cents. Again, as you stay in the same rank over the years, that pay is gonna go up as well. So obviously, if you get promoted and you get if you stay in the service for however many years you stay in, you're gonna start making more money. Now, again, this is just basic pay. You can also have a housing allowance. You can also have a food allowance. The military will provide for housing and for food. Now, if you're single with no dependents and no special circumstances, the military is going to put you in the barracks. And also, the military is going to give you, it's going to provide you with food, with a mess hall, pretty much, where military personnel goes and eats. Now, let's say that you're married and you have kids. The military is going to give you a housing allowance and also will give you money for food. If you also, let's say that you're single but you have a house and you maintain a household, as long as you can prove that the mortgage is yours, the military is going to give you housing allowance as well. So the military pretty much will provide for those necessities. So I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, we're talking about basic pay, and I mean, you don't have to pay for rent and you don't have to pay for mortgage. Now, the military is gonna give you exactly the amount that you pay for, let's say, for rent or for mortgage. It depends on the location of the duty station. I mean, there's like rates that you have to that go according to, I guess, military policy. Some zip codes might be more expensive than others. So depending on the cost of living in the area, the housing allowance may go up or down. I mean, I'm gonna talk about that in a different video because it gets kind of complicated sometimes. Again, I just want to talk about basic pay here, but just to let you guys know, there's also allowances out there, and I'll talk about that in a different video. But this is just about basic pay and what you can start making when you go in, and what you can start making as you go up in rank and in years in service as well. Okay, so thank you for watching, and until the next video, bye.